Okay, friends, let's take a look at setting up the Chuck-a-Luck quiz. Actually, the first couple questions are not about Chuck-a-Luck, but the last 4 or 5 down there are. Okay, so this first one, we know there are 6 possible ways for single die to fall. We're going to roll a pair. Okay, how many ways can the pair of dice fall? Okay, a couple ways you can get at this. You could actually reason through it, which is, think about, okay, so the smallest sum would be a 1 and a 1. Then you have a 1 and a 2. Then you have a 1 and a 3, 1 and a 4, 1 and a 5, 1 and a 6. So there's 6 ways. But that's assuming that the first die is a 1. You could also have a 2 and a 1, which would be different than a 1 and a 2. Because, here, let's get a visual. How about outcomes when rolling a pair of dice? How many of those words did I spell right? Almost none. Well, actually, this is fun. When 2 dice are rolled, there are 36 different, and you know what? Let's go take a look at that. I wonder if they give us a picture. Oh, they do. There's a picture, and it even says it right there. This graphic shows very nicely. So there's all 36 outcomes. Now, I didn't ask you to write them all out like are being shown here. I just asked how many there were. And here's the deal. If you've got 6 possibilities for the first die and 6 for the second, you actually get a good visual right here. It's 6 times 6. And actually, in that second sentence right there, it actually says 6 times 6. And that's kind of, you can, like I said, you can see it in the visual of this. As a matter of fact, let me look at the edit image search. Yeah, I like this one a little bit better. Let's take a look at this one here. And this one, you can actually see this is showing the intersection of the green die and the red die. So it's 6 times 6 equals 36. Boom! Very nice, very nice, very nice. So that's the quick way of answering the question is there's 36 ways for the pair to fall. All right, now suppose you're rolling 3 dice. You definitely don't want to sit down and go, okay, it could be 1, 1, 1. It could be 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. You don't want to do something like that. But using the idea from before, you can say, well, if 2 dice was 6 times 6, then 3 dice is going to be 6 times 6 times 6, or 216. I wonder, what if we can have outcomes of rolling 3 dice? I wonder if it'll show us or just tell us. There's 3 dice. Possible outcomes. Oh, well, actually, this is a listing way of showing you all the ways. So you can get 1 way to total of 3. That'd be 1, 1, 1. 3 ways for 4. That's 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, or 2, 1, 1. 6 ways for 5. That would be 2 1s and a 3, or a 1, 2, and 2. I mean, it gets a little bit annoying. I was hoping there'd be a visual. That's all the sums, I guess. It would be tricky to have a visual because, let's go to an image search. Because you'd have to have a 3-dimensional visual, right? Because it's 6 by 6 by 6. With 2 dice, it's just 6 by 6. This looks like a horrible way of, no, we're not going to look at that. Okay. So I guess what we're learning here is it makes more sense to just use the shortcut of 6 times 6 times 6. And I should have looked ahead. For number 3, exactly the same thing. If you roll 5 dice, how many ways can those 5 dice fall? Well, that's going to be 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. Actually, kind of gave you the answer there with that picture. So what's that going to be? I think that's 7,776, just because I just did that math with my face-to-face class yesterday. Boom! A Yahtzee is when all the 5 dice fall the same. Like there's one right there. That's 5 6s. But there's more than just 5 6s. It could be 5 5s. It could be 5 4s, 5 3s, 5 2s, or 5 1s. So the chance of a Yahtzee is going to be 6 out of 7,776. Or I guess 1 out of 1,296, if I did that math right. Okay. Now, this next bit down here is the setting up the Chuck-a-Luck. You'll use this next week if you want to do the quiz for next week. Now, I'm going to jump ahead here. We need to get to this video.
Okay, friends,
in particular,
so what I got
don't
here.
need to hear myself talk. We need to I tell you at the end of this video to take a screenshot, basically, of that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to use that for the questions in the quiz. All right, I'm going to keep that on the back burner and then go back to the quiz. All right. Please insert, okay, so number 5 would be that screenshot. In the video, I mentioned that you usually see either 0 or 1 6 when you roll 3 dice. How often did that happen? Well, if I go back to the screen grab, it looks like 0 6s happened about 58% of the time, and 1 die happened about 35% of the time. So putting those together, I get about 93%. 93% of the time. It's often. What's the chance you get at least 1 6? At least 1 6. Okay, back to the screen grab. So at least 1 means, well, we can't have none. At least 1 means, well, 1 or 2 or 3. Now, I'm feeling a little bit saucy. So I know I have to add those 3 together, or I can just subtract this one from 100%. So if I do that, I get about 42.2%, about 43%, or I guess 42%. I guess if you're rounding that off to 58%. So about 42% of the time, you get either a 1, a 2, or a 3. All right. No 6s. Oh, no 6s was that first one we just looked at right here. That's the chance of no 6s right there, about 58%. All right, back to the quiz. Around 3 minutes into the video, I was individually rolling through. Trying to get 2 6s, and it finally did. On average, about how many times would I have to roll 3 dice? Okay. So this is actually not a statistics question. It's an arithmetic question. So at this point in the, let me erase some of this stuff. At this point in the video, we had you collect this distribution. And I'm interested in the 2 6s case. Now you can see from the distribution, this happens about 7% of the time. 7% of the time. 7% is 7 out of 100. So 7% of the time means out of every 100 rolls, you'll get 2 6s about 7 times out of that 100. All you got to do to answer this question is reduce that from 7 out of 100 to 1 out of what? So you would divide 100 by 7, and it would be somewhere in the neighborhood of 14 rolls. It would take about 14 rolls. And you can go back and watch the video, and you can actually see that on average, it takes about 14. Sometimes they come in clumps. Sometimes they're spread out. But if you look at the average number of spaces between 2 6s, it's about every 14 rolls. So I said that was not a statistics question as much as an arithmetic question. How to change 7% into a fraction that's 1 out of something. All right. I hope that helped him. We'll see you soon.